Okay? Call me the DSA right the way I'm out here trekking, hauling ass for elections. I am election maxing, okay? Basically, groundwork. Basically, or was it is it SMC? Okay. I'm telephoning, I'm phone banking, I'm canvassing, I'm DSA right currently, okay, just for the time being, for the duration. Talk to me about foreign policy, talk to me about the future of this country. I am bro, DSA left does this stuff too. I know. I'm making a joke. Can I make a little caucus joke? Is it allowed? No, it's not. Okay? In any case, I'm out here enjoying the process of engaging with elections. Wait, were you helping at McKinney staging location last night? You helping set up get out the vote canvas packets? How many UAW folks you seen so far? 88 month subscriber, by the way. Has to be one of the longest. H Bizzle, you are not one of the longest. Okay. Lib Bizzle. It was too late for UAW folks. We were literally doing it at like 9. We were doing it after 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So a lot of the UAW folks were probably sleeping. They do it, they do it during the day. We do it at night. Anyway, as I was saying, but yeah, UAW is busting ass, hauling ass out here too. So, Adam and Donovan are like, oh, let's go link up with Donovan. Let's do a canvas thing. I was like, of course. So I get in the car, get out there. I still haven't eaten. I'm starving. Okay, at this point, it's like 9 p.m. and I still haven't eaten a single damn thing. Not even a goddamn cookie. Okay, I was like, fuck it, we ball. I'm out here. I'm here. Slut me out. I am at your service. I am at your disposal. Okay. Why are people saying eat? Eat. But we'll be having some Detroit pizza later, so at least there's that. So yeah, I scarfed down this brownie at the barber shop, and let me tell you, okay, look, I've done canvas stuff. I've done canvassing in underserved neighborhoods, and more often than not, in underserved neighborhoods, people are kind of uninvolved with elections. Okay. But there are certain things that I can point to, as you guys have seen in Denver, for example, that I can point to that immediately causes them to lock in, immediately connects the realm of like political action with one of the problems that they're experiencing in their lives, right? In Denver, it was the data center. I would be like, you like that shit? They say, no, fuck no. Let's fix it, right? And I'll be honest, in Hamtramck, because this is like a more Muslim neighborhood now. Hamtramck used to be Polish, now it's Muslim, like a lot of Muslim migration, a lot of Yemeni folks. It's like, near Dearborn, obviously. I thought AIPAC would be a prescient point. AIPAC would be a salient point. No. Okay? Not even a little bit. The amount of people that were just like super disinterested, whether they're Yemeni or not, was very interesting. For them, it was all DTE, and for them, it was childcare. Okay? It was DTE and childcare, from my experience, which I found to be an interesting anecdote, because I would ask some of the people, like, what do you think about Israel? What do you think about AIPAC? And they were like, nope. Don't have any opinions about it at all, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, DT is the power company, the local power company in Michigan that everybody fucking hates. Utility company. So Yeah, I mean, people were not locked in on the news at all. They were oblivious that there was an election happening, which makes sense. Um, and you know, we'll have more insight, and we'll talk about this more with Donovan later as well. But yeah, obviously the main issue is affordability for a lot of folks. You know, they're just like living their days, living day to day, working, and you know, they don't care about foreign policy, which is fine. I don't expect everybody to care about it. And the more successful way to talk about foreign politics or foreign policy with a lot of folks is was around, you know, like, we're taking the money that we should be spending here, where these neighborhoods are in a state of disrepair, and we're sending it overseas. Do you like that for war? And they go, no, fuck no. That is messed up. Bro, I sent an Uber Eats to the venue, but you ended stream right after when it got there. Wait, that's crazy. I've been to that area. Those families are big, and DTE is a bigger problem than APAC will ever be. Those two issues will absolutely have more direct impact. Yeah. Well, good thing for us. Our side is pushing for accountability on that front as well, on DTE as well. Last year, my DTE bill for my one bedroom went from $60 to well over $100. Yeah. Most people in Michigan have backup generators due to how shit and common outages are with DTE. Bro, it is. Let me tell you something, guys. Last time I went to Hamtramck, the side that I saw of Hamtramck was far different than this side I saw. Okay? The neighborhoods that we were traversing were in a state of disrepair. Okay? Same with different parts of Dearborn I've been to. Same with different parts of Detroit I've been to. But God damn, dude. America really is a motherfucking third world country with a Gucci belt. Like, it is so messed up how much wealth this country has and how little we spend it on some of these other parts of the country. It is a disaster. Okay? It is so fucked up. Like, the fact that you guys are sincerely talking about brownouts and blackouts in a supposedly first world country, developed country, one of the wealthiest country on the planet, right? That's insane. Like, I grew up with blackouts because I was growing up in Turkey. I'm used to blackouts, right? But that's Turkey. That was the whole point. There is no blackouts in America, right? That's not supposed to happen in America. As a matter of fact, when I would come to America, I was shocked at how stable the grid was back in the day. Like, if you are growing up in a developing country, if you're growing up in a country not as wealthy as the United States of America, outside of the Western world, if you ever had the opportunity to visit America, you would look at how good the infrastructure was in comparison to your country, right? Now, many of you are American, so this is not for you, I guess. This is not an experience that you can comprehend, but that's like a common thing that people outside of the United States used to say about the United States. This is a very common thing that we bring up about how good the American grid is, how reliable it is. Nowadays, we're going to have Americans moving to other countries and being like, you know what? America's hollowed out. You guys don't understand how bad it is. It's not even just a city area either. Out here in the suburbs, we get fucked by DTE outages constantly as well. I've had at least 3 outages that lasted at least a few hours just in the past 2 months. Yeah. 30,000 homes without power for 3+ days in Detroit, last big one. They keep getting rate increase approvals from the state despite this. This is why DT is such a big issue in southeastern Michigan. Yeah. And once a crisis hits the suburbs, you know it's fucked. If the middle class and the wealthy are getting impacted, you know it's really fucked. This is an old photo of you? That's funny. Okay? No, that's not me. That's the motherfucking Rizzler. It's a real honor to be compared to his level of greatness, but I don't. He looks horrible. How dare you say that? He looks like the GOAT. Anyway, but it was a fun experience overall. Very, very valuable experience. Finally had like a little bit of shawarma. Walked around, talked to some folks, saw some NYC DSA folks that are out here as well. You know, they really love their elections over there. They love elections so much. But yeah, it was a great experience. And then I went to bed, woke up, and the reason why I'm late this morning is because I was doing an interview. Because I have a journalist that's like following me along, as you guys know, trailing me around, and is, you know, covering the insurgent left movement with a focus on your boy and this community as well. Another 20K down the drain. You already know what's up. That's it. Cut up quotes incoming. No. It's going to be a long piece. It's going to be a big one. Let's get started. Here in my current backyard. I'm in Michigan, as you guys know, for the insurgent slate out here. Will Lawrence, Aisha Faruqi as well, but certainly Donovan McKinney and Abdul El-Sayed. We're door knocking. We're getting the word out. And so is Abdul's opponent, Haley Stevens. Haley Stevens was asked a question by the wonderful Sam Robinson, who has who's increasingly becoming a household name.
That about it.
Sam Robinson poses a question to Haley Stevens in her campaign stop earlier.
You said
Says, I asked U.S. Representative Haley Stevens about her tweet accusing her opponent, Abdul El-Sayed, of blaming all of his problems on Jewish Americans.
That your opponent blames all his problems on Jewish Americans. You're commenting on a video of him talking about the AIPAC money coming into this race.
By the way, I've jokingly said to Sam that he sounds like Haley Stevens before. That's his voice you're hearing on the other side of the camera.
That about it. You said that your opponent blames all his problems on Jewish Americans. You're commenting on a video of...
I'm going to try to link up with him today. I'm going to try to get him to say what gives. I want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear what he sounds like if he says what gives. Okay? What gives?
Him talking about the AIPAC money coming into this race. What made you say that?
You know, look, I think that there's been a lot of talk from my opponent throughout this race, about AIPAC, about, foreign policy and those issues. And actually, as I was driving out here, I was talking to one of our community leaders in Detroit. He just happened to call me. He's all fired up about the race. And he said, this is about what's going on in the east side of Detroit and the west side of Detroit. My opponent, you can look at who I've campaigned with versus who he's campaigned with. My opponent in this Democratic primary, he brought in Hasan Piker, this, talented.
What is this guy doing, bro? Hey, my man. Why are you shaking your damn head? Okay. What are you doing back there? Okay. I love this guy. As soon as my name gets mentioned, he goes, no, hell no, not Hasan.
My opponent in this Democratic primary, he brought in Hasan Piker, this, I guess, talent.
He said, nah, Hasan. No, what? He said, what gives? I hate that she found all four of the brothers who will ride for her to appear in one frame.
Streamer or blogger who.
Yeah, this was beautiful. Haley Stevens called me talented and a blogger for some weird reason. Because I don't know. Blogger is like, is this 2012? The fuck do you mean blogger? But it turns out it's not just Israel that comes to her in her dreams. Okay, I come to her in her dreams as well.
He brought in Hasan Piker, this, I guess, talented streamer or blogger who has been, very anti-Semitic.
That's crazy.
Took Hasan Piker right to the college campuses, which we know have been really rife with division, right? And, he took him there, and this is someone who said America deserved 9/11. I've been out campaigning in Michigan.
This guy loved that. He's like, yeah. Wait, is he agreeing with her? Is he agreeing with me? He's like, wait a minute. I love the reaction from the other people. She actually doesn't know what you do. She's a fake hater. Of course. She just got the talking points downloaded. She downloaded the talking points. She says you're bullying her. She calls me an anti-Semite. Of course. What am I, not supposed to push back?
In Grand Rapids a handful of weeks ago with the former commissioner of Social Security.
I think you are not beating the anti-black allegations, brother. Brother, I am literally going to Detroit later today, okay?
No, people's Social Security.
You'll see. It's all bullshit. That stuff is bullshit.
Is on the.
Most of the Hasanabe heads that I saw in Hamtramck, there's hella black Hasanabe heads in Hamtramck, okay? They were stoked.
Fine.
They just, don't happen to be at Haley Stevens' campaign stops.
They are bankrupting, they being Donald Trump, they are bankrupting the Social Security Trust. A fully paralyzed veteran asked me if he was still going to have access to his benefit check. We got to stand with our incredible veterans, the earned benefits, and look, I'm also campaigning, with Scott Benson and Jerry, and community leaders. I've brought in a civil rights icon, my friend, my collaborator in the Democratic Manufacturing Working Group, Jim Clyburn. So I think who folks are campaigning with, that needs to be called out. Look, I know what Michigan leadership looks like. I know how to, make it through a tough race and what it's going to take to bring people together when this is all over. I'm saying that we're all.
Great message from Haley Stevens. Good closing message. He brought in Hasan Piker, this talented streamer who's been very anti-Semitic. Yeah, I tweeted this out earlier as well. Just, this morning I was feeling like it was, I was feeling like I wanted to go down memory lane. Now, one of the things that I noticed immediately was the fact that she didn't answer the fucking question again. Okay? She did the thing again. Shifty Stevens. She shifted away. The question is very direct. Was like, hey, why are you accusing Abdul of blaming all of his problems on Jewish Americans? Oh, because he campaigned with Hasan Piker, who's anti-Semitic. First of all, no, the fuck I'm not. Okay? But regardless, that's not the question. Like, that's not even an answer to the question. Oh, Abdul is blaming everything on Jewish Americans. You didn't even say, I'm blaming everything on Jewish Americans. And even if that was the case, which it's not, that still wouldn't answer why you said Abdul is blaming everything on Jewish Americans. Max Glass, longtime senior strategist to Daniel Strauss on Hasan the Hun and their Go Everywhere strategy. This episode revealed an important aspect of the Democratic primary electorate in Michigan or elsewhere. The Hasan Piker situation was very interesting in that, yes, he's very popular with younger voters, and I think people were excited to see somebody who's willing to do the work of reaching those voters, Glass told me in an interview. For us, it was like, let's show people we're the only campaign willing to actually really go and have real conversations with some of these influencers that are having an impact with young voters. Look at that. So on the comment section of the TikTok videos, people call you anti-Semitic, and when asked to pull up the quote, they can't find it. Yeah, because there is none. There is none. Like, even the shit that they could point to be like, oh, he loves Hamas or something, right? Like, if they were to be like, oh, he loves Hamas, then you very quickly reveal that there is nothing, okay? There is none. Of course there is none. I'm not anti-Semitic. And it's not even like a gray area, okay? I have spent a good deal of my career combating far-right, and my entire career combating far-right reactionary thought. And a big part of that is also identifying anti-Semitic tropes and combating and fighting against anti-Semitism. So it's just like they tried to make this into a moment. And most people understand when you say that, most people understand that when you say that, that just means you're anti-Israel, okay? Which sucks to suck for them because that's the majority. That's the majority position. But these guys still think they can keep hitting those lines over and over again. Remember when Norm said, you probably think Jews are cheap, he got you there? Yeah, I wanted to be like, I don't, but he's just not going to believe me, so I didn't even like fucking retort back. Like there is an issue that I have with Norm's belief system that I'm fundamentally at odds with. I do think that you can, like, even if there are implicit biases that people have, no, you can absolutely train yourself not to have any fucking biases whatsoever. Like I do not, even with all of the readily available evidence, okay, that one suspects that the average American Jewish person will be, at least in some way, shape, or form, pro-Israel to a limited degree or to a great degree. I don't arrive at any conversation that I'm having with a person that I've never encountered before with that assumption in mind. I don't think like that. I don't think like that at all. So no, I don't think that, I don't agree with that assessment. Like no matter how much I've seen it, it still doesn't change my initial assumption about a person, right? And I think that's the normal and healthy attitude to pose, a normal and healthy attitude to have in general. Perhaps I'm too charitable, and many people have said I am, and many people have criticized me for it, but that's just who I am. But that's a good thing. You have to operate like that. You can't assume that people are irredeemable, or you can't assume what they think until they tell you what they think. Okay? And if I didn't operate like that, if I did not operate like that, if I did not have a firm commitment to rehabilitation, for example, a firm commitment to the fact that people can change their minds, then I wouldn't be as successful in doing what I'm doing with so many people who have changed their minds in this community, who have become firm and committed advocates, strong warriors of the working class. You know? What I can't stand is when people take this statement in a cynical direction. Okay? When people take my consistent and reliable position on everyone can change their minds, I'm always going to believe that, people can be rehabilitated. And not only that, but also I'm just going to, operate as though everyone is a blank slate when I first meet them until they show me otherwise. people will then cynically assume that I'm doing that for some other purpose. Earlier, you mentioned Morocco. What do you mean Israel caused it? Israel and America got the Moroccan government to send like 40,000 people into Spanish administered territory. We'll get into it in a little bit. It's not even on some conspiracy shit either. Like the New York Times is openly covering it as such. You know what I mean? It was classic Israel in the way that they did it, in the shameless way that they took ownership over it, that even the fucking New York Times was like, okay, well now we have to investigate what's actually going on here. You know? How is everything Israel? I don't know, man. It's not my damn fault. The New York Times said Morocco did it, but did they say Israel told them to? No, they didn't. But Israel took ownership over it. So I'm skeptical that Israel and the U.S. got Morocco to do it. It seems like something Morocco did on its own. Really. Morocco has done this in the past, never to this degree. And not only that, but also they were doing it while American envoys were there. They were doing it after the American government literally signaled that they want Morocco to do it. Come on, dude. Israel also posted about it. Like Israeli envoys posted about it. Really? That's a stretch? Are we doing that? That's a stretch. We're doing that. Like, this isn't like Israel killed Charlie Kirk. That's a fucking ridiculous conspiracy, which, again, if you want to believe that, fine. I don't. But there are varying degrees of engineering that takes place when it comes to foreign policy, different tools, different pawns. I don't know if Israel had much to do with this. They'll take advantage of it, but Morocco has done this before independently. I know, but never to this degree. And America directly had an involvement here. Okay? This is yet another circumstance where Israel and America are aligned because they have the same opposition. They have the same international enemies. Okay, we'll get into it in a second. Yes, I know. Netanyahu tweeted about funding separatist groups in Morocco all the way back in 2019. I know. I saw the Yair Netanyahu tweets as well. Okay? Hold on. We'll get into it. We will get into it. I don't understand. How would this benefit America? I am going to get into it. Oh my God. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to get into it. I'm going to get into it. I'm not going to do it right now, though. I'm talking about something entirely different. We're talking about Michigan. Okay? It has a lot to do with Spain's relationship with Algeria. And it has a lot to do with Spain's attitude against America, against NATO, against America's actions in Iran, and also Spain's statements against Israel as well. I'm going to get into it in a little bit. Yeah, Spanish support for Palestine, all of that plays a role in this. If you are to say it's America being the engineer behind it, I agree with you 100%. When I say Israel, I'm talking about, Israel fanning the flames. Of course, it's engineered by the United States of America. But America and Israel are a unit when it comes to most of the stuff that we do around the world now. Okay? It's absolutely a coordinated action. It's absolutely coordinated against... It's Morocco, not Algeria? Yes, I know. But Spanish relationships with Algeria have a lot to do with Spanish relationships with Morocco. I like that chatters that don't know the full scope of this relationship will come in here to try and correct me on it. We'll get it? Oh my God. All right. Not right now. So, we were talking about Haley Stevens. We were talking about Haley Stevens. So Haley Stevens is doing the classic fuck Hasan ripcord that many a failed Democratic campaign has pulled off in the last round, but this time against Abdul. To that, all I have to say is, what gives? And I also have to say, Israel comes to me in my dreams too, Haley. So thank you. Thank you for hitting this line. We were expecting you to do it. This is usually a nice little cherry on top. So what we got to do is a little stick it to them. Okay? We got to do a little stick it to them and go beast mode, lock in, and keep pushing. You clearly have motion because only YouTubers used to pull the fuck Hasan Abi ripcord when they were dying. I know. Diana DeGette did this. Sharif Street did this against Chris Rabb. Adam Hamawi's opponents did this to him. Andrew Cuomo famously did this. He was the first to do it. And, the one thing that unites all these people is their campaigns all died. Their campaigns all failed. It's a little bit of a kiss of death. Mallory McMorrow in this exact primary did this and had to end her campaign early. Might I suggest don't come for my sis? Who's your sis? Shri Tanadar next. Shri Tanadar is not doing that. Unfortunately for us. He hasn't done it. But regardless, what is this? Haley and Shri in Israel. They're not. I don't even think they're in Israel. I think this is. Are they in Israel? I mean, Gary Peters is right there too. Yeah, no, this ain't Israel. I'm pretty sure this is a synagogue in Michigan somewhere. It kind of seems that all your politicians are basically prostitutes, no? Yes, of course, dude. Our elections are bought and sold. It's that simple. That's what it is. That's kind of the problem. That's why we're fucking putting forward this insurgent left flank that isn't slutting themselves out to every goddamn corporation and foreign country that wants to buy their seats for them. That is literally what has always happened in American politics. And it's gotten worse over the years with Citizens United. You know? This is the reality. And yes, I feel like we're disparaging sex workers and prostitutes by comparing them to politicians. Okay? At least prostitutes, they have like a valuable output. They're doing something. They're working. These guys just sit around and collect fucking checks and sell you out. With a sex worker, there's consent. You're consenting to have sex with them. You're consenting and they're consenting. There's consent in the relationship. A politician fucks you. without any consent. Whether you're paying attention or not, these politicians are fucking you regardless. Anyway, were they not voted in? Yes. But they bought those seats. That's my point. In any case, but the criticisms haven't stopped there. Last night I saw a little